Good evening, folks. Jaron Peoples, Coach Jeremy Hubbard. We are here at Forney High School in the TAPS Division II regional championship between the Grapevine Faith Lions and, of course, the Brook Hill Guard. Coach, this is for a chance to the semis, right? So a lot riding on this. Of course, Brook Hill, defending state champions, a little bit of a target on their back. But you know a lot of these players, or all these players, are they pumped up for this game?
No, they're ready. And, you know, this is a place where they played last year in the semifinals to win and get to the state tournament. And, you know, this is a big one because you mentioned the mark on their back. Everybody's shooting for them. And when you're playing Brook Hill right now, you know you're playing the defending champs. And a team that maybe they thought would not get to where they're at right now, but here they are, and they're a chance to go back. And, man, the way they've been playing over the last couple of weeks, they may be in the driver's seat to be the favorite, at least in the North region. We'll talk about the South later, but in the North, they got to be the favorite.
Well, and again, you do it with great leadership, and the skipper, Coach Don English, you know, they clipped 700 wins just a couple of weeks ago, I think in the playoffs, right? Or just right at the end of the regular season, clipped at 700 wins. And
yeah.
And so, obviously, been doing this a long time, been successful a long time, and I know this is his second year at the helm of the Guard. How's his impact been on this program?
Man, it's, you know, leadership. What's the line from Remember the Titans? Attitude reflects leadership, Captain. And his personality and his demeanor has carried over into our team. They are a calm team. They are the moment's never too big for him, which is great because that's who Don is, you know. And so he has made a huge impact on this team and the way that he goes about it, obviously, but it's his whole staff. It's Dalton Smith, the associate head coach. It's, you know, the assistants around them, Blake Wilson, Stephen Hill, and Dan Gold, just a bunch of guys that pour into our kids, but teach them the game and teach them how to play it the right way. And it's been fun to see the love for the game back for these guys too, because that was taken away a little bit a few years back, but they're ready to go.
That's great. Now, of course, Grapevine Faith, and of course, you being a coach at Brook Hill, you know, Grapevine Faith, you're very familiar with them. They're successful in athletic programs, and so coached by Coach Robert Vaughn. I've been able to chat with him a little bit. He's done a great job getting the program here. So you've seen Grapevine Faith compete in a lot of different sports. What can we expect from them tonight?
You know, a lot like us, and in fact, a lot of great kids, a lot of great families. This is the school that, talking to Coach Smith and Coach English at the beginning of the season, you know, say who's our competition in the North, and Faith was the school that came up, and that entire district has done really well. Southwest Christian won the district, but this is going to be a good baseball game, and you know, I'm sure we're getting their guy and they're getting our guy, and I'm looking forward to a couple hours of what I think will be really good, clean, fundamental baseball.
Well, like you said, that district was loaded top to bottom. I mean, they went in as the second seed, but it was pretty muddied up there, second 2 through 4. And
yeah, I mean, we played the 4th seed in the first round, who was the district leader until the last week of the season. So, you know, it was all over the place. A lot unlike our district, which was settled pretty early.
Right. All right, well, let's go to the field for the national anthem. All right, so it is a rainy afternoon here. Now, this game originally scheduled for tomorrow afternoon, but We bumped it up a day to hopefully avoid the rain. Now, I think tomorrow's still going to be worse, but, man, it's still coming down pretty good down there.
Yeah, I guess we just couldn't hear it as well up here, getting everything ready. But, man, when we took our headsets off the national anthem, it's a pretty steady rain down there and hitting the dugouts. I don't know that we'll get delayed. I don't know if it's that heavy, Jaron, but it's something to at least watch out for. It will affect the game in some way.
And we're already 30 minutes behind, scheduled start. But, yeah, obviously – it's going to, affect different things when it comes to pitching. Probably see a lot more balls exchanged. Obviously, on some quick comebackers in the infield. Probably, with the exchanges. So, could definitely have a factor here.
Yeah, you want to go with the Faith lineup? You want me to set the defense? Jaron, which one you want to do first?
Go ahead and set the defense for us.
Yeah, we'll start in the outfield, going from left to right. Levi Visser in left, Braxton Durrett out there in center. Samuel Williams in right field. At third tonight, Gabe Tatum. Blake Witten at shortstop, and Price James will be DHing for Blake tonight. Leighton Waters at second, Ben Krutzinger at first, Dallas Clemens behind the plate, and I mentioned the guy Ben Brotz on the mound, and he has been dealing of late. He had a great performance in that by-district win, and all year long he's been the guy on the hill. And I was talking to Coach English about that last one. There was a moment we were up 1-0, bases loaded in the, I think it was the 6th inning with no outs, and Coach English said, I didn't need to go out there. I know what my guy can do, and he did it, and he didn't take a trip to the mound, and he got out of it, and we won the game 1-0. So he's the arm they're going to lean on, and they'll ride it as long as they possibly can.
We actually got a chat from Miss Tracy Bratz saying, let's go Brook Hill, let's go number 15, Ben Bratz. So some family there cheering him on. And so leading off for Grapevine Faith, you're going to have the catcher, Caden Anholt. Batting behind him is shortstop John Byler. Batting third baseman Garrison St. Romain. Batting in the cleanup spot, first baseman Jake Nicholson. Batting fifth, right fielder Connor Marley. Center fielder Luke Little behind him. Batting seventh, second baseman Cohen Ross. Batting eighth, designated hitter is going to be John Duffy. Batting ninth, playing in left field is Jace Walker. And then pitching is Ryan Romolo.
Yeah, so I'm excited, Jaron. I think it's going to be a couple of great teams here going at it.
All right, so here we go with Anholt stepping up. Brotz from the stretch. First pitch is coming. Swing and a miss. Low outside pitch, called strike.
Yeah, it is worth noting the wind blowing from left to right. And pretty steady, actually. That flag is out there.
Right before you got here, we had a nice rainbow in left center field. It was pretty cool. First pitch from Brotz, a strike, kind of the outside corner there. He's ready to fire pitch number 2. Here it is. It's hit into right field.
Right at Williams. And I don't think anybody, they're going to say he caught it, and on the transfer he dropped it. It did come out of his glove, Jaron. And they're going to say it was all in the transfer. And
so out will remain, yeah.
Faith not going to argue much here, but
no.
I don't know. Everybody kind of turned away from it for a minute. We've got John Byler here.
First pitch to him's low in the turf dirt. Got Coach Harrison saying go guard, watching with the Green family in Waco after the first day of the state golf tournament.
Yeah, Davis Green. And I know he was playing well through the first 6 or 7 holes, and they had a weather delay there, so I don't know if they got the finish or not.
Pitch sails high. So it was ball 1, so we'll even up at 1 ball, 1 strike.
Busy sports.
I'm sorry, 2-0. Sorry.
Yeah, busy sports week for Brook Hill with softball team filling extra innings today, golf tournament going on. A lot of stuff happening.
Track meet was just last week, right?
Yeah, finally they got that in.
Pitch a little high and tight inside. So let's bring us to a 3-0 count. To Byler. Nobody on. The 3-0 pitch. Inside called strike.
Yeah, that's that. I mean, it was a strike over the plate, but it's that 3-0 pitch. Yeah. Just know it's going to be a strike, man. You don't have to do anything else.
Yeah, our angle, I can't see much on the, as far as where it comes across on the plate. The 3-1. Shortstop, he's going to come up. He's going to throw.
Oh, and that's
what a dig.
Yeah, that's a nice job there. Witten Witten a little short on the throw, and Krutzinger, who has just improved so much over the course of the year at first base, makes a great play there.
And what a dig, especially in these conditions. You know that turf's wet. All right, so that's 2 outs here. Nobody on, and that's going to bring up St. Romain.
Got a lot of Brook Hill folks here watching.
Ball fouled away.
It looks like, got a break in the clouds. It's a little sunshine through here.
That wind's still hopping.
The wind's still going. It's not going to stop.
Here comes a pitch.
Oh.
It hangs inside and hits him. So St. Romain will be hit by a pitch, and the Lions have one on.
Yeah, Jake Nicholson now.
Next up, the first baseman, number 15, Jake Nicholson.
So see if Bryce can get out of a little trouble here. I say a little trouble. And anytime you get the 3-hole on base and a 4-hole up, you don't like it.
Yeah, no. 2 outs in the favor, right? So you can get him to get out of it.
And really, I get, they're going to respect the pickoff move of Bratz, who does have a couple of good moves, but not a real big lead over there at first base.
The 1-0. Ball hit over there to the first baseman. They're going to try to get it. Got time.
Got him. Yeah, good job. Good job.
What a play. They leave one on, so we'll come back for the bottom of inning number 1. You're watching some high school baseball on the Northeast Texas Sports Network, NETSN. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, folks. Jaron Peoples, Coach Jeremy Hubbard coming into the bottom of inning number 1. Some great defensive plays there from the guard to stow off the lines there in the top of the first.
Yeah, and the scoop on the second out was a huge one, but then the wherewithal of Leighton Waters to be in position to get the ball off the deflection on Krutzinger's glove and then make a great throw. And you're right, 2 great plays there to, you don't say get out of trouble, because I don't know if they ran a lot of trouble, but either way, you get out of it when really no harm. And now get this offense is the one thing, like you need to get it going. They need to get going early, I think, and hopefully they can do that today.
Romolo, a righty on the mound. You would assume the number 1 for Grapevine, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so in this one-and-done series, and so I will say I love the high socks. I'm an old-school baseball fan, right? So I love the high socks.
We've only been in 5A, a couple of years in and out, or we were in 4A for a while, and we got to run into Faith a few times. A lot of respect for their school, and they have some good uniforms. The good uniform colors in red and navy. I love it.
That's all right. So Dallas Clements, the catcher, is going to step up for the guard here, and they're all whites, blue piping down the side. Here comes the pitch from Romolo. Called strike.
Yeah, and Clements is one of those guys that coaches will tell you they just want to get him on base, because they know if he gets on base, he is such a distraction to the defense. You just got to get him on somehow here.
Off-speed pitch on the outside, got him the chase. That ball had some nice movement on it. It tailed away as it approached the plate, so it's going to be no balls, 2 strikes. Ball hit to the left side, just foul.
I wanted to make an umpire comment, but I won't yet. But did you see the clip of Max Scherzer mocking C.B. Buckner the other night?
No, I didn't see it.
So C.B. Buckner historically not very good behind the plate, and every time he called a pitch, Max Scherzer would act like he was flipping a coin and letting it land and then making a call.
Yes, sir. Swing and a miss, drop. No, they're going to say he wasn't dropped, so he is retired. So 1 out now. He was going to try to sell it, though, wasn't he?
Hey, listen, why not? And this is kind of the part of the order right here that needs to get it going. Bratz, and then Williams, and then Tatum. These are the 3 guys you need to do some stuff for you here.
You're 2, 3, 4. So here comes the pitch to Bratz. A little elevated, call ball. chat with us if you haven't. You got to just hit subscribe and wait for a minute. And you'll be able to chat. Let us know who you're cheering for, where you're cheering from. Swing and a miss. Good cut there. Got a little bit of a piece of it.
And you can tell Romulo's got a live arm. He's working quick.
Ball hit. Play made. And so that's going to be 2 outs here. So bring up the third batter, Samuel Williams. Sam Williams. Now, of course, I know Sam from football, you know, calling some Brook Hill games.
You know, and this is a kid, too, that if you want to play college baseball, could have done that. I mean, just football is what he wants to do. It's you know, what he wants to do at the next level, but he could have played here. And Offensive Player of the Year in the district last year. We don't know what he got this year, but I'm assuming he's in that conversation.
And let's say it's fair. They get it, they flip it, they make the play. So 3 up, 3 down for the Guards. So at the end of 1, we're not and not. We'll be back for the top of the second here on NETSN.
We were just talking about this, Jaron, as we're back here as we're getting ready to start the second. 73 of you right now watching us on NETSN. That's awesome.
That's great. Yeah, I know we've got obviously a lot of Brook Hill fans watching with us covering the Guard throughout the year in various sports and different things, but also got some Grapevine Faith folks tuning in. And I know I've seen Mr. Thomas Norton saying King Ryan to give it to him. I assume he's talking about Romulo, so.
Yeah, he's good.
He's good. Yeah, he threw a good
like
ball.
we said, that our dude and their dude, and man, looking good so far.
Now, of course, the winner of this game will go on to play at the semifinals, which will be
Monday.
next week, Monday at UTA, right?
Yeah, they've set the times already, but I don't know what they are. And the semifinals will be Monday, and then you get the finals on Tuesday. So could be a fun week of baseball. You know, obviously we want to win and go, but man, I'd love to spend 2 more days at UTA and eat a little. There's a lot of good food around the UTA campus.
Yeah.
Jaron. Of course, Tap TV will take over there. It won't be us. But,
yeah, it won't be us. But
unless we can get that contract somehow.
Hey, if anybody knows anybody.
I know a few guys. We'll just tell them. Jaron and I will be there.
Leading out to the top of the second for the Lions, the right fielder, number 4, Connor Marley.
Connor Marley will step up. Brought's back on the mound for the Guard, of course, and from the stretch.
Yeah, Tatum playing in at third, maybe expecting a little bunt here.
Ball low.
The one thing about turf when it's wet, Jaron, is if the ball's low, it's going to get that nice little skip. It's not going to maybe bounce the way you think. It's going
to stay low and warm burn it.
It's going to get to the fence. And a long backstop
here.
Yeah,
it's a backstop. The 1-0 pitch. Ball hit.
Yeah, it looks like Visser's there.
Catch made by Visser in the left field, and so that's going to be 1 done.
The center fielder, number 34, Luke Little.
So we're here at the campus of Forney High School. This is the second year of this facility. I know y'all Brook Hill played here last year in the same round. And
you know, I actually missed this game last year because softball was playing the same night.
Yeah.
So we had our daughter there. So now Luke, our son, playing here. So we're getting to take it all in.
Of course, softball.
Ooh, man, just lost a heartbreaker today in the 8th inning. Talking to Coach Brawley, Coach Springer afterwards, just things at the end didn't go their way, and that's unfortunately sometimes the way it goes.
That pitch, man, that was an off-speed pitch. That was nasty. Ball hit sharply down the left line. He's into second.
He's thinking about third. Good.
Ball got in quick by Visser, and so that's a double to get things going for Grapevine.
Yeah, and that's the one difference in our park in this one. A lot of territory over there outside the foul line. Ours, it's pretty tight.
Yeah.
And now if you you get it outside that foul line like it just did and it rolls toward that gate, you got a little bit to go. So
now it's pretty shallow here at the corners too.
It is
310.
shallow,
I know, what, 325 over it.
Yeah, and I was thinking too. Also, when you look at their defensively, I was looking a minute ago, they're playing in too. So it's, of course, the wind's playing a factor in that too. But
here comes a pitch. Good block there by Clements. Ball one. So they got a man on with one out.
Tell you one thing I do like about the scoreboard here is it has the pitch count on us. We don't have to wonder where he's at or what he's doing.
Now, what's the taps pitch? I know UIL.
It's the same.
Okay.
It's the same, 110.
Bunt and lay. They're going to get it. He's going to throw the first. They get him.
Nice job. Brock's just, as we say, has a little feel, right? He knows when it's time to let it go and when to hold it. And good job.
Did the traditional check the runner. He was already almost there. Still going to check him, go to first, make the play, 2 outs now.
Yeah, so now you got to work 2 outs, runner on third here. These are situations that Bratz has been in. Coach English trusts Ben in these spots, and Ben trusts himself here, and we'll see if he can get out of this one also.
John Duffy at the plate. Off-speed pitch. Well, maybe the cutter, but it kind of sailed a little bit.
Yeah. And look, I know 75 of you watching. You're not all wearing orange tonight. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I am employed. I have to apologize.
No, we're good. We're good. 1 ball, no strikes. Ball hit high.
And luckily, little room there. See if Dallas can get there. No.
Just on the other side of the chain link. Again, this stadium in its 2nd year. I actually used to live in Forney and called
Nice.
in the area. I did most of my broadcasting with North Forney, the school on the north side, but
Yeah.
at the time, the Forney High's baseball field was at their middle school because it's the old high school. But they've.
What years were you at Forney?
I was there from 17 to 19.
Okay, so a little later. I grew up in a time when Forney had a kid named Zach Segovia.
Okay.
That was 95, 96 plus.
Oh my gosh, 1 and
Yeah.
1. Well, and
I'm old though, Jaron. We won't say how old, but
well, the stadium director here is Coach Pruitt, who was the longtime Forney baseball coach.
Yeah.
So I've been talking with him this afternoon. All right. The count at 1 and 2. Here comes the pitch. Cold strike.
There you go.
3.
Got out of it again.
He gets some. And so in that moment, he hunkered down. So that'll do it. So we'll be back here for the bottom of inning number 2. We're still tied, not. We'll be right back here on NETSN. All right, here we go. Cleanup spot coming up for the guard.
yeah, Gabe Tatum will lead off, and Gabe's a kid that has had a phenomenal year and had a rough year last year with some injuries, but back and ready to go and playing a huge part in this team's success this year. He's going to be one of those guys that gets something going too, because I'm telling you, Romulo is looking good so far. 8 pitches in that first inning.
Yeah, he's definitely efficient. Here comes the pitch from him. Ball hit into right field. He makes the catch, so he's retired. Like I said, you can't get much more efficient than that. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Yeah, when you can go 9 pitches for 4 outs, that's the efficiency you want.
Yeah.
Wife coming through with some hot hands here.
Hey, as Braxton Durrett steps up to the plate. He shows bunt, pulls back, called strike. Nobody on. Got 1 out here in the bottom of the 2nd. Ball misses low outside.
It's kind of funny how you start the year and it's cold and windy and rainy outside back in February, and now you're here on May the 5th, second round of the playoffs, and it's also cold and rainy.
1-1. Ball
there you
hit
go.
into the gap.
And I'll be honest with you, Jaron, this is a part of the lineup that's actually, like, come through for him a few times here down the stretch. The top maybe hasn't gotten it going, and this middle to bottom has done a great job.
Got one out, lefty up. Levi Visser. He throws it back.
Good move, too.
He's quick.
Yeah, it's a good move.
I can tell you, Romulo, you can tell he knows what he's doing on the bump. He commits, throws, swing and a miss, high fastball. Good cut there by Durrett.
And Visser, but, you know, here's the thing.
Oh, Visser, sorry.
You better be in the box ready to go. He's ready to go, and he's going to bring it, too.
He throws it back because they're just in time. So you have Visser at the plate.
Durrett getting the respect with the knee brace on, still getting a couple of throws over there.
Ball hit. Catch made in foul territory.
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough to square him up. I think it could be one of those nights where neither one of these guys really is going to be easy to get a good solid barrel on.
Yeah, I think so too. Even his fastball has some movement on it.
Ben Krutzinger here has had a couple of big hits down the stretch as well.
He sets, he makes the pitch. Called strike on the outside corner. I told you that Krutzinger, that's a baseball name, man, if I've ever seen one. It throws back to first.
I'll tell you, he's really, you know, he's a senior, but over the last few years has really put a lot of time into improving and doing the things that need. And, you know, he's honestly filling one of the biggest holes from last year's team, Lex Rich over there. And so he's done a good job down the last few weeks for us especially.
Ball was a little low. They're going to say he went around, though, so strike two with two outs. The 0-2 pitch coming in from Romulo. Stays high and outside. Ball one now.
Yeah, if nothing else, you're making him throw a few more pitches than last inning. Both guys really with low pitch counts through two. I mean, we're not done here yet, but.
He's sitting at 17. Ball hit over to the left side. He's going to pick up. He's going to throw. And the scoop made. Good play. And
yeah, Nicholson with a great play at first base to get that third out. Because that's one of those we talked about. The wet turf is going to skip and take off. He makes a nice play.
Absolutely. So, all right. So they'll leave one on, but we're still tied 0-0. We'll be right back here on the NETSN. All right, welcome back. Coming here to the top of the third here. We're still tied 0-0, and really, I won't say pitching duel yet, but
it's looking that way.
I mean, both pitchers. You got Romulo is at 18 pitches. Bratz is at 21. Defenses are playing clean. Had some great plays at first base on both sides so far tonight. And again, as we've mentioned, and we'll mention again, the conditions right now make it, you know, those scoops and things over there on first base a little more difficult. So good play from both teams there.
Yeah, and, you know, we mentioned not just the wet turf and the rain, but also the wind still blowing pretty hard out there, too. I do notice it looks like the rain has stopped. I don't see it dropping on the ground out there. And I think we're at number, 8 in the order now here for the Lions. Jace Walker.
That's number 9, actually. So,
okay.
Yeah, so number 9, Jace Walker. He had some family chiming in earlier on the chat, so thanks so much. Rod's going to deliver. Ball hit. The shortstop
nice
makes a great throw. Makes a throw just out of reach. And there's a lot of space.
Yeah.
And so we'll call that an E6 on the overthrow, and the guy goes into second. But what a stop. I mean,
Man.
Great stop there.
Yeah, Witten makes a nice play there. It's almost one of those that he's probably at first base if he doesn't get to it, you know. Yeah. But that's a great job by Witten to get to that ball, and just a little too high. And you mentioned the space over there. Clements was in great job backing up Krutzinger over there down the line, but ball got by him too, and he had to go chase down.
Well, and again, it's not just behind the plate, but behind the bases and dugouts. A lot of room.
Yeah, there's a lot out there.
All right, so that's going to bring up the leadoff hitter.
It's Anholt.
So a man on second. Bratz gives him a look. A little bit of a lead, nothing too crazy. Here comes the pitch. Ball hit on the right side, foul.
And Anholt. His first time up. Thought I had it here in my hand. Lined out to Williams.
Steps off. Call time. Bratz back on the rubber. He from the stretch. Runner on second. Gives him a look, commits to the plate, delivers the pitch.
Man.
Low inside, yeah.
And just for the record, not whining, you can throw a good pitch and not be a strike. It's a good pitch right there. I know, but you've said it a lot of games. You know, Jaron.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes the best pitchers are the ones that aren't strikes, right? But
you got to think about it now.
1-1. He's taking his time. Won't commit. He'll step off. Little psychological battle there between.
Yeah, I mean, look at Witten. Witten is right in literally in his hip pocket out there at shortstop. You can see it in that tight view, but he is right up on him. Now we got him.
Ball hits him. So.
All right, so now it gets interesting. No outs, first and second, 2-hole up. He grounded out to Witten at shortstop in the first inning on that nice scoop over there by Krutzinger.
All right, so we got guys on first and second now, no outs. And that's going to be Byler stepping up, right?
Yeah, we'll watch Bratz here see if he can work his magic this time.
With two guys on, no outs. A little bit of pressure there.
Yeah.
Middle infield still playing at double play depth, though. He sets. Delivers the pitch. He shows bunt. Off-speed pitch. Goes foul. So no balls, one strike now. Again, runners on first and second. Right here in the top of the third. Sorry.
Kind of hit one of those critical spots in the game already. It's early in the third inning, but you can kind of just feel the tension right here. You know, you got to every pitch at this point is critical. He's taking his time a little bit more than he normally would.
Throws back to second. Gets back in time. You can just tell it in the air, like this has a regional finals sense to it, right?
It does.
Like, both teams are focused. Fans are in it. That's what you like to see.
Yeah, two quality schools. They're going to have quality kids, quality families. I mean, it's big-time feel.
Showing bunt. Corners come in. Pulls back. Pitches high. Gets past the catcher. So both runners advance. And so got two guys in scoring position now with no outs for the Lions.
Coach English going to take the trot out, visit with Ben. You don't see him do that a lot. I mean, he is one of those believers in, you know, trust your guys, let them work through it. But you mentioned it's a different feel right now.
And again, I mean, you know, with the games moving days, moving times, you know, a lot, like I said, there's been a lot going on. I know at Brook Hill you guys have a lot of multi-sport athletes, so it's been, you know, pretty heavy in different activities going on the past, you know, week and a half, 2 weeks, and so.
Yeah. You know, I will say this. This is a group, though, that I, you know, feel like has kept their focus in the middle of all that. You know, you got a bunch of seniors who are getting ready, you know, they're really in the middle of their last week of school right now. They'll take finals next week and then graduate. So just a lot of things that they've had to work through and focus on. And I don't for sure think this is like focus, but it could have been for a different team.
Well, again, that's part of, I think, Coach English's leadership, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just persona.
Here comes the pitch, shows bunt, goes foul.
Man, that's got to be driving Coach Vaughn crazy. You know, all you got to do is get one fair here. And you know this. You watch enough games that now you make him bunt twice. Now it's a 2-strike count. Your approach has to change. He's your, you know, it's your 2-hole guy here. So, not that you've taken the bat out of his hand, but you've changed the at bat for sure.
Well, and you assume the bunt calls off. Now, we saw a game that was at Brook Hill the other day where they left it on.
They went ahead and left it on. I think this kid's probably a little better hitter than that kid might have been.
Fakes a throw. Doesn't go. Brought sets. You can tell he's focused on the mound. Pitch comes in, fouls away.
I love Ben's personality. I mean, he is the way he approaches the game on the mound at the plate. He is, you know, you hate to say he's baseball all the time because he's a very good baseball kid, but also just a great kid all around. So his personality, he's laser focused right now. But if you talk to him after the game, he's as humble and polite as he can be.
All right, the count's 1 ball, 2 strikes. No outs here. Runners on second and third. Brought's leg up, pitch delivered. High tight inside. Called ball.
I mean, other than the fact that the 3 holes on deck, the guy on base here is not the worst thing.
No, I mean, you turn the double play back on.
Well, it takes the guesswork out of it. I mean, you know you're going to go home. And
pitch comes in.
That's a pretty good pitch, too.
Man, that is not a bad 2-2 pitch. It had a little tail on it. Right, he kind of made this cut right in front of the plate and just didn't get him to chase, but not a bad pitch.
Yeah, it's one of those games, if it's not second, third, no outs, the guy probably chases it, right? I mean, it just a good disciplined at bat here.
The payoff pitch now comes along.
Hey, there you go.
Called strike. Good pitch there by Brought's. Now, is he a senior?
No, junior.
Junior, oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
he's a junior. And, you know, really on the field right now for Brook Hill, the only seniors are at first base, center field, and right field. I mean, it's a veteran team because a lot of these guys were playing as sophomores.
Yeah. So St. Romain steps in the box for Grapevine.
Got that 3-hole hitter up here.
Off-speed pitch into left center, so 1 run's going to come in. Visser's going to throw in, so great get in to keep.
Yep. Yeah, to limit that.
Yeah, to limit
no
that.
Doubt.
But a good piece of hitting there by St. Romain, and so you got runners on the corners now, and the Lions strike first and put one across.
Okay, so you get out of that with that batter, maybe as good as you could have there without, you know, getting an out. But then you got first and third, double plays back on. You were going to need 1 anyway, so you're not really hurt. Ooh.
Quick move. Just let him know he's thinking about him. All right.
Yeah, and he came in there with those cleats high, too. And
I didn't even notice.
Ben got the glove on him, but it was close.
Comes Yo-O. Right down the pipe. Strike 1.
So the first baseman, Nicholson here, who made a great play to end the bottom of the second over there at first base.
Again, keeping him honest over there. Now, again, he's got a lot of trust in the first baseman, right? Because there's a lot of room, like we've talked about.
Yeah, if you get one by him here, you're looking at down 2-0 and a runner on third.
he's doing it. He's keeping them there. Wonder if he's trying to keep him there so the double play stays on.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You want to make sure that guy doesn't go anywhere if you can keep him.
Here comes the pitch, shows bunt. They're right down the middle. They're going to throw it home. We got a little bit of a pickle here. All right, here we go.
Now.
They're going to say safe, yeah. Just a little late on that throwback.
Just a little late, and that's a great job base running there by Anholt. I tell you, I mean.
And they were rotating well. They had it played
defense
well.
Played well, just got rid of it a little too late. 100 viewers right now.
That's
Love
awesome.
it.
That's great.
And honestly, I'm also kind of monitoring the chat. It's in front of your screen. I was here looking. I can't wait till Brook Hill's back on offense and we can talk about this faith pitching stuff because some of his buddies here have really pumped him up. I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah. We're going to bring that up once he gets back on the mound here.
Keep the chat up. I love it.
Guys on first and second here, one out. Off-speed pitch outside. Clements fakes the throw, doesn't make it, but keeps guys honest.
Yeah, and the other thing is, too, that pitch count now on this inning is run up.
Yeah.
He's up to, I think, 12 or 13 pitches and just one out.
Here comes the pitch. Shows bunt. They're going to throw. They get the guy at first. So 2 outs now. Now you do got 2 guys in scoring position, but you're 1 out away from.
That bunt, it's okay to go back to pitcher. The one before that, he did not want to go back to pitcher, by the way. But, yeah, just a good sacrifice bunt there. Now you got Luke Little up, 5-hole. Little last time, he hit the double out to left field in the second inning.
Here comes a pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball, kind of lower part of the zone, and had a little bit of movement on it, and got him to swing. Good pitch here by Bronze.
Yeah, we do not need a double here.
Time called.
Man, just breaking records here.
Dude, this is awesome.
112, we love it. All you Brook Hill guys, all you Grapevine Faith guys watching at home, man.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks, absolutely. And, you know, even though kind of our Brook Hill broadcast, we're all here for the same reason. We want to get these kids out there and let people that can't make the game watch.
That's right.
I mean, that's the mission that Brett Swinney started when he started this thing, right, was, hey, we're not trying to charge. We're not trying to do anything other than promote high school athletes, and tonight's a great example of that.
And you had a long broadcast career before you went into coaching and still help us out with broadcasting. I've been doing it a while. Here comes a pitch. It's outside. But, we love, obviously, we try to make a little money doing this, but we do it for the kids. We do it for these players. And, ever since COVID, video broadcasts have really kind of, hit it. And every week I get families thanking me.
Yeah, nobody's getting rich doing this. We're all working other jobs.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And we would do it for free.
That's right.
Maybe.
We would. Yeah. Well, and I've done that before too. Yeah.
Maybe you weren't supposed to, but you did.
Yeah.
And but no, but this is a prime example of why, man. The weather's kind of bad. Both teams having to travel a little bit. Let's give people, grandparents and other family members that can't watch it a chance to watch.
All right, the 2-2 count comes in just inside.
It's close, Jaron.
It was close. Again, with where the officials set up, I can't really see where it comes across on the corner, but it wasn't far off. Full count pitch. Here it comes. Popped out. Good battle here. Again, got to cover some Brook Hill softball this year, but I hadn't got to cover the baseball yet. And Bronze, man, you can just tell he's laser focused, even with guys on the base pads, and he's not letting it shake him.
I always tell him, Brat, you got that dog in you.
Yeah. The payoff pitch with 2 outs. It's delivered. Ball hit to the infield.
Yep, make a good throw.
And they get him. They get him. So they leave 2 on. They do put 2 across. So the Lions lead the guard by a score of 2-0. We'll be back here for the bottom of inning number 3.
Leading off the bottom of the third for the guard, number 1, Price James.
So Price James stepping up to the plate for the guard.
I'm going to trust Romulo's buddies here that he is committed to Harding University to pitch. We were talking about that earlier. He's quite the scouting report we got from his friends there.
Yeah, right-handed pitcher, of course, we know that, but he's committed to play at Harding. It's a D2 school. And
my favorite part is the part about how in the classroom he's the excellent. I'll read it word for word here in a second. It's pretty great. Oh, his swagger walking the hallways. I love it.
Okay.
I love it. And that's the thing, man. Different schools, but kids are the same. Kids are great.
Yeah.
His swagger in the hallways. I believe it. You can wear those tall socks. You got to have it.
So James at the plate. Here comes the pitch. Ball hit well into left center field. Center fielder comes over, makes the catch. Ball just hung up a little too much in the air.
Yeah, and also it looks like the wind has shifted maybe a little back in.
And I think it did have a play because it looked like it was going more left. I said left center, and it kind of came back, and that's how that wind's blowing.
So 9-hole Leighton Waters here, and Leighton, I know at least one walk-off hit this year in a game. I was there for that one. He had a big walk-off hit opposite field to win the game for us.
Not bad from your 9-hole hitter, right?
Not bad. Leighton's a good baseball player.
Leighton Waters, pitch misses to him high inside. The 1-0. Swing and a miss. So 1 ball, 1 strike.
It's lighting. I feel like we're at a Lakers game, Jaron. Like only lights in the building are on the field here.
Yeah. I wonder if it's one of those that have the, because that's the thing now is the strobe effect, like at the end of the game.
Well, be all right if we could slap one out here and find out.
Oh, yeah, they get one, yeah. Pitch outside corner, check swing, called strike. First time I saw that, I was doing a football game at Canton. Didn't know it. Lights go out, and as a broadcaster, your heart starts racing.
Yeah, like, oh, boy. Thomas Sitton, who used to be the head coach at Rusk, obviously just went over to Henderson, but we were over there scrimmaging a couple years ago, and he was like, Coach, look at this new toy I got. And they'd given him the LED lights like we got here, and he could control them from his phone. He was so proud of that. I wonder, like, every time Russ scored it, he just hit a couple of buttons and changed it up. Maybe he probably wasn't focused on that in the game. Somebody, that was their job that night.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes a 2-2 pitch outside. It'll bring us to a full one.
Yeah, and Faith got their rally going and get the 9-hole on base. If you do the same thing here, still plenty of time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's Romulo said no, not going to happen. That's a great pitch.
Came right at him, so it's out number 2. And so top of the order now, though. And Dallas Clement steps up, sorry.
Yeah, and he's working fast. Pitch count's low. He's at 27. I mean, you got to find a way to get to him. They got the second time through the order. Now it's time to pay back the favor here.
The 0-1.
Man.
Pitch low outside, good eye there.
Yeah, good eye, another good pitch. That's an 0-2 pitch you want to throw right there.
1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody on, 2 outs. Here comes the pitch from Romulo. Good battle here to tip it.
Yeah, man, he's good. He is good. Fortunately, we've seen a couple of guys in the last couple of weeks that maybe prepared us for this. Playing Prestonwood, they had some guys, and just to get some looks at some guys that can throw like Romulo here.
The 1-2. A little high. Come across at about letters, I think. 2-2 pitch. Man, he's working quick. Ball hit.
Now run.
He's going to scoop it, throw it. Yeah, I wondered if he came off a little bit, but had a good stretch there, and so.
And love the effort. Full out dive. Don't hurt yourself.
All right, well, nobody on, no runs. We'll come back for the top of the fourth. We'll be back here on NETSN.
I was curious. I was waiting.
I was wondering.
I like it. That's a good call.
I was wondering. Good job.
It's funny, everybody in the stadium is kind of wondering the same thing. Where are we headed with this one? Good job there. I guess it's time to start the fourth. That's awesome. That's awesome. You know, I just want to brag on myself, Jaron. You were there to witness this. The rain delay the other night. I had the good rain delay playlist going.
Oh man, yeah. So there was
1 hour of all rain songs. Didn't know there were that many out there.
So broadcast of the playoff series against Tatum and Mineola, East Texas, and it was at Brook Hill. So Coach Hubbard here was doing the PA and the music, and of course it was a big rain delay as the storms came through. And man, he was up to the challenge and performed for sure. So it was awesome.
Probably the first and only time Milli Vanilli will ever be played at the Brook Hill School. Hopefully. Although we don't really know who sang it, but we'll say it was Milli Vanilli. Oh, man. All right.
So stepping up is going to be Cohen Ross, left-handed hitter for the Lions. Off-speed pitch, swing. That was a nasty little one. That smelled the sneaky cheese from here. That was good.
Ben needs a quick, efficient inning here.
Yeah. Ball hit. They throw across. He beats it out. So good stop, but just good speed there by Ross. Of course, being on the left side helps, and so he reaches safely. And it's just an infield single, just a well-placed hit.
That's the fourth hit of the game for the Lions. And
we got a pinch hitter here, Cody Bowman, stepping in.
Yeah, coming in for Duffy. Early, but we'll go with it. Never know what's going on down there. The way they've gone, you think you're going to lay one down here, Jerry?
We'll see. Chase Leslie saying, down here, get a shot. Hey, man, yeah, I'm going to shut you out right now. Chase Leslie, go ahead. Man, I'm first. We may read your message out loud.
It depends on what you say.
Gets past the pitcher here. The pitch does, and he rounds second, looking.
You know, and we started the broadcast off talking about Coach English and his demeanor and how it's affected this team. This is the moments when you need that, right? When things are not really going well for right now, but you got plenty of time. You just got to stick through and work through those things.
I got you, Price Andrews. Thanks so much. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, Brat's sitting at 47 pitches.
I mean, he's going to throw until he can. I promise you that.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But, you know, he needs a quicker inning.
The 1-1. Oh, okay. Delayed call. I wasn't sure what was happening there, and so
I guess
called strike.
They train you to be slow with your call, but I don't know if he forgot.
This is what I do.
I forgot. Yeah. In my head, I thought it was a strike, but it didn't work out.
Here comes the 1-2. Low in the turf dirt, a little outside. Not a bad 1-2 pitch to even us up at 2-2.
The turf dirt. It's growing on me slowly.
Man, I started using that a few years ago when I was calling a team that played in the turf a lot. And,
I mean, why not?
2-2 pitch. Fouled away. Whoa,
look out.
Goodness gracious, that was a shot. And
I'm
actually
not sure what it hit next, but
it did something to cause it to go over the protective railing there into the Grapevine dugout, and it shot
quickly back out. Yeah. Looked like it hit a wall or something, but it's one thing to miss it on the way in, but if you don't know where it's going to come out at, you're in trouble.
2 balls, 2 strikes. A man on second. A little bit of a lead. Here comes the pitch. Swing inside, swing and a miss. What a pitch. And it came right at him and jammed him up a little bit on the inside, and that's first out.
Yep, now the 9-hole and Jace Walker. And, of course, he kind of got that rally started for him back in the top of the third.
12.
It's very rare you get a roster now in baseball that has the ages on it, and Walker just a sophomore.
The 0-0.
Yeah,
speed.
Yeah, respect the breaking stuff there, huh?
Yeah, that thing about just a couple feet in front of the plate took a hard left and a nosedive and fell right in the mitt.
You couldn't hang in there for that one.
The 0-1. Here comes a pitch. Fastball inside, so it looks like he's starting to figure out how to get the hitters off balance, right? He's starting to kind of go on each end of the plate.
Yeah, I mean, he's an experienced guy, knows what he's doing, and just, a little rough stretch there in the third, but other than that, he's been pretty settled in.
No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Legs up, arm across, pitch deliver, called strike 3.
There you go. Yeah, and this is the inning you need right here. Now just finish it off, because now you got back to the top of the order with Anholt, who has been he's been a menace. Had a hard line drive out in the first inning, start the game to Williams. Part of those couple of runs in the third.
So that's Caden Anholt now stepping up with 2 outs. Going to be big for Bratz here to get out. Man, that off-speed pitch came in, tailed in, just a little too inside, I guess. But, man, it wasn't bad looking at all.
Another good pitch for sure. Bratz is using the corners and the outside pretty well.
The 1-0. Ball fouled away.
You need to get one of those in play to get it.
1 ball, 1 strike. Outfield's playing a little bit to the pool with the left-handed hitter, not too aggressively.
Yeah, Ben's one of those guys got enough velocity you can get away with playing him straight away. Time out here by the batter. Mentioned a lot going on this week. Just Brett just confirmed it to me. Brett Sweeney did that NETSN's going to cover the Brook Hill Athletic Gala Wednesday night.
Yeah.
That'll be on NETSN, and we'll be spreading that word out to our families. But that's a big deal for us.
The 1-1.
Oh,
Did it?
I don't guess it hit him, but man, you kind of would have been better off if it had clipped him.
Yeah, because that would have made a dead ball. So, because the runner does advance to third. Man, that was a matrix move to get out of that. Goodness, but
Yeah, he had to
I don't
work
know how
hard to
it
get out of the
didn't
way.
hit him.
Did not.
I don't know how it didn't. So 1 ball, 1 strike.
And now you got to worry about These guys over there on third base again.
Ball fouled away.
If nothing else, Faith has done a great job of putting pressure on Brook Hill every inning.
Yep.
I mean, every inning they had base runners and kind of forced us to be in some situations maybe that aren't the most comfortable. And still the same situation here.
All right, so a 2-2 count. Here comes the pitch. Ball hit high. Third baseman makes the call and the catch. So they'll leave one on. So good with the back against the wall. Good stance there by Brook Hill. Keep him from coming across. And so we'll come back here for the bottom of the fourth. We're Brook Hill's trailing 2-0. We'll be right back. Welcome back, folks and friends. Jaron Peoples, Coach Jeremy Hubbard here with NETSN Live, Northeast Texas Sports Network, based out of Tyler in Northeast Texas. We cover a lot of schools in the Northeast Texas area.
Grapevine Faith has been on the network a few times for football games and
football and
basketball.
Yeah,
we've no strangers to the network. Glad to have him again.
Leading off for the guard, number 15, Ben Bratz.
All right, so Ben Protz stepping up to help his cause here. Pitch from Romulo. Called strike. Knee high down the middle there, so no balls, one strike. Pitch clipped the outside corner there, so into the count.
Yeah, that's got to find a way to get it rolling. It's just 2-0.
Yeah,
I mean, you know.
Yeah, it's still a close ball game. That was a little cutter there that just took a little left turn right as it came across the plate, and so Sam Williams will step up.
Does the jinx work if I start talking about how we need to get a hit? I don't know. I don't know if the other team had a 0 there, I wouldn't be talking about it at all. But man, we need to get one in the hit column.
First pitch called strike. The 0-1. Ball hit over to second base. Makes the stop and the throw. And
the chat is lively tonight. Brett Swinney thought he was getting a night off. He's working in the chat.
Golly.
I don't know, something about the transfer portal. And
we're just trying to call a baseball game here.
Yeah, it's we're having a good time.
Oh, yeah.
But 2 quick outs. Romulo just cruising through these first 3 2/3.
Gabe Tatum at the plate. Third baseman for the guard. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss.
Ooh.
They're saying that the fastball topped out at 82, 84. It's every bit of it.
Yeah, it's I think maybe your gum's a little slow.
The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and so the side's retired. So we'll come back here for the top of the 5th. The Lions lead 2-0. We'll be back here on NETSN.
All right, we need to fix some things here, Jaron, going to the top of the 5th. Blake, there is no transfer portal from NETSN. It's not an option.
So we'd love to cover any of the DFW schools when they come east, or we'll go over there. But
what we could do is we could get them in touch with a guy that we maybe know. But
oh yeah, we know some folks over there.
He just has a little trouble getting on the internet sometime, but.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Brett didn't say we had to keep it clean up here, but he knows. I didn't, I don't. So if you know, you know, huh? That's what the kids say.
Chase Leslie said he tops out 79-81, but I tell you, though, I mean, he's pushing every bit of it.
Yeah, there's no 79-81 there, I promise you. 79 on the change-up, maybe.
All right, here comes the pitch. Fouled away. And Broad's back on the mound. Sorry.
We're just talking. Broad's is pitched a good game. Like,
yeah.
It just they put the pressure on us and done some good things here in these first 4 innings. And
I mean, through 4, he's just over 60 pitches. That's averaging about 15 pitches an inning, right? And so
which is not bad.
Not bad.
Except the other guy's got 41, right? Just makes it look a little worse.
Yeah.
But this has been a good Broad's performance. It's
the 1-1. Ball hit shallow infield. Bratz comes over, makes the catch.
Now batting number 8, Garrison St. Romain.
And that's a good way to get a good quick first out. I mean, a couple of pitches there on the pop up, and now you got St. Romain again.
St. Romain steps up. 1 out here. Pitch just outside. Sorry for that shake there.
Almost sounds like Brotz's velocity's up a little bit.
Yeah.
Just from what it was early in the game, maybe.
I thought last inning he was throwing a little harder. The 1-0.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if you can pick that up in the microphone or not, but it's he's bringing it right now.
1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. The 1-1 pitch. Pitch inside, stays fair. They throw the first.
Man, good job there to back him up again.
Yeah. Great backup there by the second baseman.
And it's Waters.
Leighton Waters. And so,
number 15, Jake Nicholson.
Because that could have been trouble, but. And again, a good play, and not too bad of a throw, a little off target, but it was a 1-hopper, which, is acceptable. But
about as long of a throw as you have to make from over there.
So you got a man on with a 1 out. Swing and a miss. Yeah, he's calmed up the velocity ladder a little bit.
Knowing Ben, he's a little frustrated with the situation. Not that he's pitched poorly or anybody's really done anything. Just, I think everybody's kind of frustrated when you don't score. You're not getting runners on base.
0-1.
Oh, okay. Fixing to say, man.
Man, he's delayed on that call. So called strike.
It's getting a little cold out there, man. Turn his windshield wipers on.
He don't want to pull. He don't want to pull the hands out of the pocket out of the warmer. Man on first. The 0-2 pitch with 1 out. He comes in from Bratz. Low outside corner, don't get him to chase, so that'll bring us to a 1 ball, 2 strike count. A little bit of a lead there.
Yeah, just let me get this one.
The 0-2.
There you go, good pitch.
Cold strike 3. Good pitch. That one had some movement on it as it came across the dish, and so that's out number 2.
Now batting number 4, Connor Marley.
Now you got Connor Marley, the 6 hole.
Right fielder, I believe, right? With 1 on. The pitch. Swing and a miss. That one was low and got him to chase, and so Bratz ahead in the count.
And Ben's just one of those guys that does such a good job of hitting in and out and hitting his spot so well that it kind of doesn't really give you an opportunity to just sit and expect anything.
Yep.
You got to be on your game at the plate, and he's pitching really well right now.
The 0-1. Yeah, I feel like he seems to be locating them a little bit. Not that he was doing it bad in the first couple innings, but maybe a little bit more command over where he's locating
amped it
them.
up for sure. Yeah. He's amped it up, and with the exception of a 3 or 4 batter stretch, it's been a really strong performance.
The 0-2 count now. He's ahead. Ball fouled away.
This would be a big out here.
And that wind's still whipping.
Oh, it's blowing even harder. But it has turned more toward home plate, it looks like.
Ball hit over to the second baseman, makes the catch.
All right.
So they leave one on. Good defensive effort there. Great pitching effort there by Broad. So we'll be back here for the bottom of the 5th. The Lions lead 2-0. We'll be right back.
Time to get it going, Jared. Bottom of the 5th, running out of outs here.
And that's what, Durrett stepping up, right?
Yep, here we go, Braxton. No, he is. He's not interested in this being the last night he plays, so he's going to be focused here.
Oh, man. Great young man. I've gotten to talk to him some. Multi-sport athlete.
I could go on all night about this senior group. He's one of those guys that meant so much. Oh, let's see. Yes.
Yeah, they're going to say,
all right.
It was a high throw. It came down, and I think, Coach Vaughn's going to come out and question that a little bit.
You got to talk about it for sure. I think probably should not talk about it that way, but.
So there is going to be an official conference here.
Here's the problem. I think just with the way that played out, it's going to be hard to get anybody else to turn him over.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a call that probably could have gone either way. I mean, I don't know. It was close maybe, but I think anytime when the defender comes off the bag like that, I think it's going to go to the runner most of the time.
Yeah. Well, and people always say tie goes runner. No, it's not that the tie goes to the runner, but it's the onus is on the defense to get him out.
Right, yeah.
I mean, did you get him out before he got to first base? And so it's, we're a long way away from the play. And
a good effort by the first baseman on placing the tag for sure. But
when the throw first went off, that was way too high.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely a great play.
But Durrett's got speed, right? We've seen that in a lot of different sports he plays, and so good effort by him.
That's actually a way longer discussion than I thought we'd have here. Which I think the longer it goes, the more it goes against Brook Hill here. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
That's,
So Coach Ingles going to say, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I'd love to know what that conversation was. I can count on one hand the times Coach English has been upset like this. But I think he has a right to be right now.
And again, it was an athletic play, but I think anything close like that, and again. All right.
Broadcast integrity here. I'm going to just move on and focus on Levi Visser at the plate here.
Pitch outside.
There's some people who are not going to be so quiet over here to my left.
Swinging and miss. Well, taking off that pitch a little bit, so 1-1 the count. The 1-1.
Oh, that's a new one, actually. The wind has died. And you know how I can tell, Jaron? It's 10 degrees warmer here where we are.
So the 1-2 to Visser. Got him to swing on the outside one, so that's out number 2.
All right, Ben. Get us going.
Number 22, Ben Krutzinger.
So Ben Krutzinger stepping up, the first baseman for the guard with 2 outs, nobody on. Pitch outside corner.
Ooh, it's good. It's good. Oh.
Outside corner called strike 2. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, and so he's retired. So that will do it for the bottom half of the 5th. So we'll come back to the top of the 6th. The Lions lead 2-0. We'll be right back here on NETSN. All right, here we go. The top of the 6th, yeah.
And look, here's the thing. Good call, bad call. Here's the issue. None of us want robo umpires, right? And so it's part of the game. You just have to move on. You gotta work through it. It is. I do feel like it was probably not a call that you could overturn in that moment, but he did, and so you got to move on, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think that's a call that probably could have gone either way, but overturning it was what was kind of confusing to me. But again, we're up here, they're out there.
I was watching a Ranger broadcast the other day, and there was it was a Sunday afternoon. White Langford tries to steal second. They called him out to end the game. They go back to replay, and the replay is clearly he was safe, and they kept the call. And the guy's like, why even have replay? So, honestly, it's never going to be perfect, and it's unfortunately part of the game. And calls will go both ways over the course of time.
Oh, for sure. So we said, can we get a shot for William? He's had a great day at the TAPS State Golf Tourney. So Grapevine Faith having someone at the State Golf Tourney as well as the first pitch comes in from Bratz.
And that goes back to the point I said earlier about Davis Green being there for us. Both of these schools, in every sport, they're competitive. They send kids to golf, to tennis, to track, all these things. And two of what I would consider to be, when I make a list of really good TAPS programs, these are 2 of them.
Man, that pitch from Bratz was pretty. They called strike 1. It was an off-speed pitch, and it danced around as it came in, and that one's low, 2-1.
And there was a couple of years we had 2 pretty good football battles between Brook Hill and Faith. I mean, these are 2 schools that compete well with each other, and I know a lot of joking about the dirty stuff. It's 2 good schools to have a good rivalry.
Pitch just inside. That wasn't a bad idea by Bratz to come back inside on the corner. He's been kind of living on the outside corner, but didn't give him the oblige on that inside pitch, so we're at 3-1.
There you go, another good one, yeah.
That pitch, I don't even know what it did. It wasn't necessarily a burner, but it had a little bit of jump to it, and as it came across, and you can tell he was off balance a little bit, so that brings us to a full count.
Yeah, and once again, just for Bratz's mindset, just to get a leadoff out instead of a base runner here would be huge.
Yeah.
And it's got to be tiring mentally to work with all the base runners.
All right, the payoff pitch. Ball hit. Should be foul territory.
Let's see. Yeah, nice play.
Visser making, you know, the mile run, it looks like. Golly, again, that's what we talk about with those far fences. That the outfielders have that much room to cover. Now, of course, that's foul territory, but still, you want to try and make a play on it, and he did in foul territory, so that's out number 1.
Yeah, he's thinking, man, I never had to run that far left field at home. Now we're Cohen Ross. I think maybe another pinch hitter here. Let me see. I'm looking at the wrong
Look at you here.
roster there.
No, Cohen Ross, no, yeah, he's been in number 1.
Oh, yeah, 7 hole. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I was like, I felt like we were in a different spot in the order, but.
First pitch to him was a ball. Now he fouls that one away, so even us up at 1 ball, 1 strike.
It is. We mentioned how big this is a nice facility.
Oh, yeah.
All their facilities here together. Of course, we played our original round basketball game here. So
Ball hit into center field. Catch is made.
yeah, direct corrals it out there in center field.
He was playing that ball well. He was playing a little shallow, but they've done some scouting, and he barely had to move a step.
And does it with that swag with the sunglasses on backwards. But
Well, that's a 2 outside. That's big, right? In a few amount of pitches.
yeah, he's got enough to finish the game, but I think confidence-wise and, you know, mentally, you want to get 3 up and 3 down here.
That pitch, that was a off-speed curveball that took a hard left in the nose dive across right into the bread basket there, and the 0-1. Swing and a miss.
All right. Go get him right here, Ben.
You could tell the last probably, 3 innings, he's kind of amped something up here and done got mad. He's set. He'll deliver the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. So what an effort here.
Yeah, he's doing his part right now, for sure.
Now let's see if the offense can get something going. We'll be right back here on NETSN. All right, welcome back, folks. So starting things off for the guards, number 1, Price James, looking to get something going here.
Guard, number 1, Price James.
All right, so Romulo working quick.
Coach David Collins here in the stadium just texted me, said we need the rally monkey in the booth. We gotta get something going. I'm gonna stand up a little bit. Except the pitch guys behind me. It's not gonna work.
Stick it.
Throwing hot dogs and everything around here in the stands. I don't know what's going on.
3-0 the count.
Yeah. Man, leadoff base runner would be nice. Okay.
Yeah, that'll do it.
We're going to go with it. So Leighton Waters 9-hole. Man, if you can. This is the moment, right? Like, this is the one you got to get something going.
All right, so a runner on first again at the. Yeah, if you can get a guy or 2 on going into the top of the lineup, that's what you want for Brook Hill. So, because when you think about it, the guy in the box represents the tie and run.
Yeah.
Right?
I said Waters has had a couple of big time moments this year. That's not what he was trying to do.
He shows a bump, which, you know, I think that's a good game plan there, but got a little under it and so fouled it away. So no ball, 1 strike here.
Yeah, I mean, just good fundamental baseball here. Put 1 down.
The throwback, it's back in time.
Yeah, he hadn't done that in a while. Of course, not a lot of base runners tonight, but that was a good move. There you go.
Lay down a nice bunt. He'll throw.
Oh, he's
Ball
safe.
comes out.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, that's how things get started. And now your 8 and 9 hole hitters do exactly what you wanted them to do. You give yourselves a chance now. The winning run is at the plate. Forget the first 5.5 innings. The tying run's at the plate.
So the pitching coach will come out. Let's just kind of reenact that a little bit. So it's a bunt, well-placed bunt. Guy comes in, makes the throw. Throw was on time, but a little bit off target as he came around to make the tag to make sure he had him. Lost the ball in the or not in the really transfer, but in the contact. And
yeah, I mean, honestly, if the throw's online, it's another out. But he just things just go that way. So, and that's, you know, we talked about the bad call a minute ago. Like, things are going to happen along the way that they're going to even out. But now you got a big time moment here, because if Clemens can find his way on base, you got those 3 coming up next that are 3 big time hitters for you.
Well, as Coach Ron Washington say, baseball go the way baseball go.
Oh man. Picture old Wash over there in the dugout waving his arms.
Oh man.
Greatest years of our baseball lives.
I mean, 23 wasn't bad.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
So shows bunt, leaves it out. They're going to say he stayed. Yeah, so-called strike. So you got 2 guys on, runners on first and second, no outs.
He had to ask for help. Interesting here. I mean, I like Clemens laying the bunt down here, honestly.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He can run. You get him on base.
He does again. Pulls back on that one, and that pitch was inside. So,
and so now it's the first time the offense has really put some pressure on Romulo.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, Romulo's pretty much had his way, and now he's got to work through a little pressure here.
1 ball, 1 strike.
I'm in the box, Blue. Let's go.
The 1-1 pitch from Romulo. Shows bunt, pulls back. They're going to say strike, though. So.
I mean, it's a strike, bunt it or don't.
Yeah. So bunt sign pulled off probably, and so 1-2 the count. Here comes the 1-2.
Yeah. And you can't let Romulo get ahead in the count. And you just that's one thing you can't do. But now you got the guy that's battled his tail off all night long on the mound at the plate. A chance to help himself out.
Definitely the chance to help himself out, right? So now they're going to play him a little more to the pool. I was wondering if they were going to, because they were playing a shallow center more straight up. And
yeah, but the danger there, Jaron, is that with Romulo's speed, if he can get someone down the right field line, it's retired.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, because as hard as you throwing, I mean, you'd think most things are going to be on the right side. Here comes a pitch. Ball hit to the shortstop.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to say he was safe, so they did get the guy at second.
And you're still alive here. You still got your 3-hole, the defending district offensive player of the year at the plate. Runners on first and third. Good speed over there at first.
So, yeah, so guys on the corners, but 2 outs. So the go-ahead run represented in the box here.
At this point, we'll just take the tying run.
Yeah, yeah.
Stay alive and fight.
Ball low and inside. He's got me hesitating making the call here.
Yeah,
just because he's delayed on it.
Maybe good mechanics, but bad for broadcasters.
Yeah. So Romulo sets, catcher setting up outside the 1-0, fouled away.
And, the other thing is this is the most pitches Romulo's had to throw in an inning. I mean, he's having to labor in this one much more than he has the first 5.
So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runners on the corners.
Maybe getting somebody moving here.
Williams in the box. Off-speed pitch, I think stays a little too far upstairs, and so.
Just catch it. Let's go.
1-1. Oh, 2-1 now. Sorry.
Yeah.
2-1 pitch. It's coming in from Romulo.
Okay.
High and outside, so 3-1 now the count. Good discipline there for Williams because, man, when I was playing, those high, especially outside ones, they had the beach ball effect to me. And so good discipline there to lay off that.
There you go. Drew a nice little walk there. Now, man, what a moment for Gabe Tatum.
So Gabe Tatum stepping up with 3 ducks out in the pond, as they say. Bases are Jimmy jacked with 2 outs. And
this is a guy, man, that is, once again, has come through for this team offensively in some big moments, and this is the biggest of the year for Gabe. Attaboy.
Ball hit into left field. Makes the
and
catch.
just right at him. Just right at him.
So 3 guys are stranded. Left fielder makes the catch. So we'll be back for the top of inning number 7 here on NETSN. All right, folks. Brod's back on the bump for the guard. So we're here at the top of the 7th. Man, if you're a Brook Hill fan, that, you know, got a little pit in your stomach there. Just, turn the pressure up a little bit on Romulo, and got to bound the ball a little bit, but good defense there by Grapevine.
You know, just to pull the curtain back a little, and you know, I've been doing some things during for athletic game on Wednesday night and talking to a lot of our athletes and coaches. I tell you, the one thing that keeps coming up, the one thought that the kids had and our coaches talk great about our kids is they understand that you can do things right and things don't go your way and how to work through that. And so if anything else, we at least know with 3 outs on offense, 3 outs on defense left, they understand that you can work through those things, and it's not over until we're done playing for sure.
Man, that's one of the things athletic teaches you that few things else can, right?
It starts here. You need to get 3 outs and get back in and give yourself a chance.
First pitch to, I believe it's Jace Baker is outside.
Chase Walker.
Chase Walker,
yeah.
Sorry. I knew it was close.
Yeah, as the 9-hole has done a great job tonight. He's done really well.
He shows a bunt.
Well, he helped us there because I don't think his intentions were to bunt it. Talking to one of our assistant coaches, Coach Smith, this weekend, that one's got to be fair or foul, but it can be back to pitcher.
Yeah. I mean, where you want to bunt it, that's not where you want to bunt it, especially with nobody on. So,
got to get the top of the order here. Anholt has been pretty good offensive player tonight.
Yeah, I'd call this lineup pesky kind of 1-9, right?
Yeah, there is no drop off. Yeah. I feel like from 1-9, and if there is, normally there hasn't been tonight.
Not
for
tonight.
sure.
Pitch miss is just a tad inside from Brodson, so 1-0 is the count. But hey, I can't say enough how he's kind of, hammered down the last few innings. Pitch miss is outside. You've seen him pitch a lot. My first chance, and again, that's what makes a great pitcher.
Yeah, and he's just the guy that's going to get up there and work and battle. All right. Williams calls him off. He corrals it up
Yeah,
there.
he did.
Yeah,
Man,
good job.
what a run by Williams to come in, and some good communication out in the outfield to do that. So that's 2 outs now.
You've gotten 2 in a row here, and just keep it to a minimum here you have to work through in the bottom.
So first pitch fouled off, so 0-1 the count.
And
Ball hit in the right field. Williams comes back. He's tracking it and makes the catch. So Brouts did his job. The defense did it too. So we'll come back for the bottom of the 7th here to see what happens. We'll be right back here on NETSN. All right, here we go. This is it, Coach. The bottom of the 7th, and Brook Hill trailing by 2, but
through 7 innings, and hopefully there's, well, I'd like to win 3-2 here, but if not, we go to 8th or more. But Brock's night tonight, 7 innings, 93 pitches, 6 strikeouts, no walks, and only 4 hits. Just a phenomenal pitching performance for Brock. You can't ask much more of him on the mound than you got tonight.
As Braxton Durrett steps up to the box and definitely wanting to keep his senior season alive here and do his part in that. First pitch to him called strike.
And as good as Bronx has been tonight, Romulo has been pretty good himself.
And he's impressive. Swing and a miss there.
He's at 68 pitches on the night and just has worked quick, has been efficient, has not wasted a lot of pitches. Defense has helped him out behind him.
The 0-2. Ball hit foul territory.
Ooh.
And just out of the reach of the first baseman. Good effort there, sliding effort.
I don't know if everybody saw that or not, but I'm telling you, that was a lot closer than maybe it should have been.
Yeah. All right, so now I got 2 strikes on Durrett, no balls and no outs, nobody on. He'll deliver the 0-2. Swing and a miss. So Durrett will be retired, and it's 1 out here.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, Coach Vaughn came and had a.
May have been a strikeout milestone for him. It came and asked for the ball. And
okay, yeah.
Who knows? But I don't know what the milestone is, but I believe with that guy. That's it. Look, if they get out of here tonight and they're in the semifinals and you got to face him next Monday, good luck.
So bunt and laid.
Ball outside there, and Visser needs to help here.
Swing and a miss. That's Visser in the box. And
tell you what, he's feeling himself too.
Man, yeah.
And he is pitched the game.
All right, so Brook Hill down to their last out is Krutzinger steps up. Here comes the pitch. Fouled away.
Boy. And just, we said before, what an incredible ball game. We've gotten one.
Pitch called strike, and so no balls, 2 strikes here. Krutzinger, the 0-2 pitch from Romulo. Fouls out when he battles in, keeping it alive. So no balls, 2 strikes. The 0-2 pitch. Ball hit. Catch is made. And so Grapevine Faith will win 2-0 over the Brook Hill Guard. And congratulations to Grapevine. They'll go on to play in the state semis next week, Monday at UTA. But man, this is one of the hardest parts about broadcasting is seeing the seniors, right? And last time, done in the field, and man, but what a valiant effort by both teams. And I mean, gotta give it to the Guard. Even when the back was, their backs against the wall, they stayed focused. Ben Bross, oh my gosh, man. I mean, so many pitchers would have just melted in that, right? But it just amped him up even more.
Any other night, he's the best guy on the bump, right? I mean, but Romulo, 79 pitches, 1 hit. Just a phenomenal performance for Romulo and Grapevine Faith. And I don't care what anybody else says, that's you got to tip your hat to that young man and to that team. They did everything right all night. They did a good job of putting Brook Hill under pressure in every single inning except for just a couple toward the end. Romulo was great on the mound. They knew they had their guy that could go. And, I mean, gosh, what can you say? I mean, if you're Brook Hill, you look back on it and you go, man, like, other than some offensive things, what could we have done? I mean, it was just a great game. And so, but you mentioned this, it's having a senior is a little different for me, but the book closes now on a senior class that has just been phenomenal and has meant so many things to this school and this program.
I mean, state champions.
Right? I mean,
So.
And Coach English said 100 times over that they wanted as juniors, and instead of just like, okay, we won last year, like they put more into it this year. And look, as I mentioned a minute ago, they understand things don't always go your way. Even, no matter what you do, the work you put in, it still may not always work the way you want it to. And this program is going to be fine. A good, strong group coming back. A great coaching staff coming back. Good luck to Grapevine Faith, but Brook Hill will be back in the situation next year, you would think.
Well, and you see both teams gathering at the mound to pray. And, again, you love seeing this. And, again, I call a lot of UIL ball, but I love calling taps ball. And, man, this is one of the best competitive games, one of the best pitching duels I've seen all season, if not the best. And so, again, just hats off to both teams. But Brook Hill Guard, congratulations on a great season, and so excited to see them come back. So, Coach, final thoughts.
Man, just a great year. It is hard to do it back-to-back.
Yeah.
And coaches have said that all year long. We were fortunate enough last year to win 3 state championships. One of them, of the 3, went back-to-back. The other 2 had great years, and they lose in the regional final. It's just tough to do.
Right.
And, as I mentioned a minute ago, a senior class is gone, and that's tough. It's Wednesday night. We'll get a chance to honor everyone and look back on those seniors' careers. But, as a Brook Hill employee and a coach, I think NETSN and Brett and you, Jaron, you've been with us a lot this year in different sports, and just thankful for the chance for our kids to get out there and be seen. And, man, it's unfortunate you lose here. But you know what? Such is life, and these young men are going to be fine when they get away from here.
Well, thanks so much again for Jaron Peoples, Coach Jeremy Hubbard. Thanks so much for tuning in. Incredible numbers tonight. It was awesome. So thanks so much for the Brook Hill fans tuning in, the Grapevine Faith fans tuning in. Have a good night and be safe.